Hi everybody, welcome to this episode with The Anxious Resistant. On this episode we're going to be talking about celebrities who have had struggles with their mental health. And some of these people might actually really surprise you. And we're going to go through a few people who have said specific things about their struggles. To start with, first we're going to talk about John Mayer. John Mayer has been a musician for a long time and has written many studio albums, but he has long struggled with anxiety. And this is what he says. He says, "Sometimes I wonder what the F I'm doing." He says, "I have these accidents, these mistakes, these self-inflicted wounds, and then I tear my head to shreds about it for days. I'll read a little something and die 1,000 times in my own mind, visualizing the death of my career, respect for me and my music. I almost go blind. But then 2 weeks ago it occurred to me, John, if I can use my own name with myself, the only reason you're going through these trials is because you're brave enough to say, I don't want to detach. I don't want to go live in a gated community. So I will continue to make these worldwide dignity mistakes as often as it takes for me not to make them anymore." And that's something a lot of people can really relate to, and myself personally, that sometimes when you make mistakes, it's on public display and everybody can see it, and it's hard not to ruminate and think about that. So another experience that John Mayer had was with a friend of his who struggled with anxiety as well as him. And this is what he said of their experience between the two of them. "And we would talk each other down out of their anxiety. It was heart palpitations, shortness of breath, coldness and shivers, strange stuff. And we'd be like, you're totally fine, you're not having a heart attack." And he said his mind works at such speed that I think we would sort of second guess his sanity at times. So he can very much relate to some of these issues. Now, another celebrity that struggles is Emma Stone, who has anxiety and panic attacks. And this is what she has to say about it. "The first time I had a panic attack, I was sitting in my friend's house, and I thought the house was burning down. I called my mom, and she brought me home. And for the next 3 years, it just would not stop." Emma Stone told this to the Wall Street Journal. She also added that "I would ask my mom to tell me exactly how the day was going to be, and then ask again 30 seconds later. I just needed to know that no one was going to die and nothing was going to change." Stone reportedly sees a therapist for her anxiety, and she found an escape through theater, which obviously led to her acting career. Now, another person that struggled for a long time with mental health issues was the late Carrie Fisher. She said, "I have a chemical imbalance that in its most extreme state will lead me to a mental hospital. I used to think I was a drug addict, pure and simple, just someone who could not stop taking drugs willfully. And I was that. But it turns out that I am severely manic depressive. You can't stop. It's very painful. It's raw. It's rough. Your bones burn when you're not busy talking and trying to drown it out. You don't have to like doing a lot of what you do. You just have to do it. You can let it all fall down and feel defeated and hopeless and that you're done. But you reached out to me. That took courage. Now build on that. Move through those feelings and meet me on the other side. As your bipolar sister, I'll be watching," she wrote. "Now get out there and show me what you can do," said Carrie Fisher. Now, another person who struggles, another musician, is Lady Gaga. And she says this: "I openly admit to having battled depression and anxiety, and I think a lot of people do. I think it's better when we all say cheers and fess up to it." And I agree with Lady Gaga there, that it's best when you own up to the fact that you're human and that you have struggles, as many, many people do. Another person who has struggled is the celebrity Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart said on anxiety, "Between ages 15 and 20, it was really intense. I was constantly anxious. I was kind of a control freak. If I didn't know how something was going to turn out, I would make myself ill, or just be locked up or inhibited in a way that was really debilitating. I've come out the other end not hardened but strong. I have an ability to persevere that I didn't have before. It's like when you fall on your face so hard and the next time you're like, yeah, so I've fallen on my face before. I can very much relate to those thoughts. Another person that struggles is Kristen Bell, and she said this about going on antidepressants. When I was 18, my mom said, if you start to feel like you're twisting things around you, and you start to feel like there's no sunlight around you, and you are paralyzed with fear, this is what it is, and here's how you can help yourself. Kristen said, and I've always had a really open and honest dialogue about it, especially with my mom, which I'm so grateful for, because you have to be able to cope with it. I mean, I present that very cheery, bubbly person, but I also do a lot of work. I do a lot of introspective work, and I check in with myself when I need to exercise, and I got on a prescription when I was really young to help with my anxiety and depression, and I still take it today. Another person who struggles is the author J.K. Rowling, and she said this: I think I had tendencies toward depression from quite young. It became really acute when I was sort of 25 to 28 was a dark time. It's that absence of feeling, and it's even the absence of hope that you can feel better. And it's so difficult to describe to someone who's never been there because it's not sadness. Sadness is, I know, sadness. Sadness is not a bad thing, to cry and to feel, but it's that cold absence of feeling, that really hollowed out feeling. That's what the Dementors are, and it was because of my daughter that I went and got help. Another celebrity that really struggles has been Dwayne Johnson, and he said this: I found that with depression, one of the most important things you could realize is that you're not alone. You're not the first to go through it, you're not going to be the last to go through it, and oftentimes it happens. You just feel like you're alone, you feel like it's only you. You're in your bubble, and I wish I had someone at that time who could just pull me aside and say, hey, it's gonna be okay, it'll be okay. So I wish I knew that. I very much agree with Dwayne Johnson, and especially that everybody should know that they're not alone, and I hope that this video has made it very clear that there are other people who struggle, many celebrities, famous people who we all think have it made and have the rich and glamorous life, but they're also like us and struggle. So thanks for tuning in to this video of The Anxious Resistance, and I hope you found something uplifting and helpful. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like more information on anxiety, depression, mental health. This is your source on YouTube.